Welcome to Minute with Mike. One of the things I've discovered in life is that choices are critically important to success. The choices that we make are going to dictate the success that we have in life. And so one of the things that I've been for a number of years, as far back as I can remember, is I've been a reader. And one of the things I love to do is read books and develop myself. What are new skills? What are new thinking? What is new outlooks? How can I grow my ability, my capacity? How can I grow my success formula in every area of life? And so I've been recently rereading a book by John Maxwell called No Limits. And one of the things I find, and this is always interesting, I read a book once and then I'll come back and read it again and realize, how did I not see that stuff for the first time? John has a great quote in the book, and he says, counseling helps people work on their weaknesses, but equipping and coaching helps people work on their strengths. And I realized in life, and one of the things I've really tried to focus in on is to use the Pareto principle in my life when it comes to strengths and weaknesses. To focus in, what are the things I'm good at, and spend the majority of my time, 80% of my time, working on my strengths. And I want to encourage you to do that. That doesn't mean you forget about your weaknesses and just wherever they go. You have to plan and adjust. You might have to delegate some things. You might have to even work on some of those things. But don't spend the majority of your time working on your weaknesses, because at best you want to get them so they're not having a negative effect in your life. But the capacity, the ability to grow your strengths is unbelievable, and you can grow it in multiples. If you spend time focusing on it, because you're going to be passionate about it, you're going to be good at it, and it's going to provide for you a positive feedback cycle. Now, in the book, No Limits, John has this 3-part formula, and this is really important. Awareness, and I've talked about that in a previous Minute with Mike. Ability, I've also talked about that in a previous Minute with Mike. Plus choices is going to equal capacity. And today we want to talk about choices, how important the choices that we make are. So I want to talk about 4 choices that we can make. He has other ones in the book, and I recommend getting the book and going through it and reading about it. But responsibility. One of the things in life is that successful people take responsibility for their life. They don't play the victim card. I grew up in a challenging situation. I had a father who was an active alcoholic, created chaos in the home growing up. There was all kinds of issues that went along with that. And I could have easily played the victim role. But one of the things my wife Debbie and I did is we said, we got to take responsibility for our own lives. Can't blame our parents. We have to find out what's going on. I know there's help. And we, years ago, I'm talking 30 plus years ago, 35 years ago, we started a journey of discovering and getting help in those areas of how we were affected by my father's alcoholism, and the things that happened in the family. And it was amazing. The journey of not playing the victim card, finding there were solutions, and moving forward. Taking responsibility for your life. And when you take responsibility for your life and your success, you're not going to play the victim card, even though you might have reason to do it. It does you no good because it shuts things down. You're going to wait for somebody else to solve the problem for you. Don't do that. Take responsibility for your life, the outcomes in it, the choices that you make, and find ways to move forward. Because when you take responsibility, the biggest thing that's going to happen is you're going to take action, positive action, and may not always be in the right direction, but at least you're moving and can make adjustments. So number 1 choice that we can make is to take responsibility for our own life. Number 2 is the character issue. We can take responsibility for good character based on good values. There's a great quote by Abraham Lincoln, and I'll just try to get it as best I can. The tree is the character. The reputation is the shadow that the tree casts. Don't worry about reputation. Worry about character. Being a person of good character based on good moral values. It is going to serve you well, and character is what you do and what you live when nobody's looking. So I encourage you to reevaluate your character and make the changes as needed. Number 3 is the area of abundance. One of the things that's easy to say is no. And listen, sometimes when it's outside of your area of strengths, when it's outside of your area of focus, it's a good idea to say no. But there are times when opportunities come where you need to say yes, even if you're fearful, and even if you're worried, well, there might not be enough. I've heard people say, well, there's only so many pieces in the pie. I go, well, that's not true. Just make another pie. We can make more pies, and there can be more pieces for more people. And it's an abundance mindset. It's an abundance choice that there is enough, that there is opportunity for everyone. That just because I say yes to something doesn't mean someone else can't say yes to opportunities in their life. And it's interesting when we say yes, it's amazing more yeses come on the other side. If we go through a door, all of a sudden we find other doors of opportunity that are there. I recently had a conversation with a young man. He wasn't sure about a decision. I said, say yes and figure it out. And it's been for he and his wife a great decision of opportunity. Brought clarity to them, brought insight, brought understanding, and it really helped them because it brought positive experience because he chose to say yes. And I really encourage people, when there's good opportunity, say yes. When time is right, when the opportunity is there, when it fits in your focus and your area of strength. Number 4 is the idea of discipline. I heard from somebody, I was listening to a podcast, he was talking about discipline equals freedom. When we have a disciplined life, it actually brings freedom. It doesn't restrict freedom. Every morning I have my ritual. I get up in the morning, I do my Bible reading. I'm a person of faith, and so I do that. I read Proverbs every single month, over and over again, because it's a source of wisdom and insight. I drink my healthy coffee with stuff that feeds my brain, feeds my body. I plan out my day. I go through things I'm thankful for. I get out and get some exercise, get some fresh air. And it just kind of sets the tone for the day before all of the challenge come. And I really encourage you to make sure you have a ritual, a morning ritual and an evening ritual of discipline in your life. Discipline in your thinking, discipline in what you eat, discipline in your exercise, discipline in all those areas of life, of planning your life, focusing and moving forward. So those 4 areas, taking responsibility for my character, taking responsibility for my life, making good choice on character, abundance, and discipline. Enjoy the journey as you focus on these 4 areas.